Hello, Stephan here with Liquidity with a video about the German verb lassen, a very important verb, including some of its variations. A cognate to the English word to let, and also to the French laisser and the Italian lasciare. So I'll talk a little bit about the origins and also about how to use the word and the different variations, what they mean, and so forth. Very important word if you want to know German. Can't really know German without the verb lassen. Liquidity. The German verb lassen has cognates in not just Germanic languages, for instance, the English word to let, or the Swedish word lotta, or the Dutch word laten, but it also has cognates in other Indo-European languages, for instance, the Italian lasciare or the French laisser. There probably are some cognates to that in Slavic languages and also in Southern Asian languages. The closest I could find was in Lithuanian with leisti, I think it's pronounced. Lithuanian is, of course, a Baltic language, which I believe I'm a little bit more closely related to Slavic languages, but they're a language group unto itself. They're part of the Indo-European language family. Lithuanian and Latvian belong to that language family, and actually the original Prussians were Baltic speakers as well. The origins of all these words go back to thousands of years ago to a common Indo-European ancestor. Lassen basically means to let. It can also mean to allow or to leave, depending on the context. It does not seem to be directly related to the German noun Last. That actually means burden, and it's related to the German verb laden, to load. So that does not seem to be related, at least not directly in any way. So don't confuse Lust and lassen. Lassen is a strong verb, which means that in the present tense, the second and third person singular vowel changes from a to a, and in the past tense it actually changes from a to an e sound, a long e, which in German is spelled ie, which is not exactly logical from a phonetic perspective. This is one of those situations where German is not really logical phonetically. Mostly it is, but in this case it's not. So very quickly, the conjugation of present tense and past tense to cover at least the most important ones, the most common ones. So present tense in the singular, it would be ich lasse, du lässt, sie es lässt. So in English that would be I let, you as in you buddy, you there, let, and then he, she, or it lets. In the plural, it's back to straightforward, just an A sound. It would be wir lassen, ihr lasst, and sie lassen. And the formal you in German is conjugated just like the third person plural. There's a reason for that, but the only difference is that the sie is capitalized, right? So let's talk about the simple past tense, which in German is called Präteritum. And in Präteritum, or simple past tense, it would be ich ließ, du liest, or du liesest, and sie es ließ. So if I wanted to translate those three into English, it would be I let, past tense, you, as in first person basis, you let, past tense, and in the third person would be, of course, he, she, it let. Plural would be wir ließen, we let, past tense, ihr liest, you all, or yins, or yous guys, let, sie ließen, they let. And that's also the conjugation for you formal, both in the singular and plural, as if I wanted to say you sir, you ma'am, or you Ms. or Mrs. or Mr. or whatever. And the past participle is gelassen. And once you know the word gelassen, you can easily form the German equivalent of, or sort of equivalent of, the present perfect and the past perfect. And in German we call those perfect and Plusquamperfekt. I love that word, Plusquamperfekt. Gelassen also is used as an adjective. It means as much as casual or kind of easy to get along with, somebody who's not very strict or is not very stern, right? Or somebody who's not super serious, somebody who's just casual, relaxed. So gelassen can mean casual, it can mean relaxed, that sort of thing. Which is interesting because it actually is almost an exact replica of the Latin word laxus, which also means lax and relaxed. And we still, in English, we have the word lax, right? And interestingly enough, the English expression to cut someone slack, the word slack, is more closely related to the original Indo-European word, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. So lassen can mean to let, to allow, and also to leave. So I'll give you a couple of examples. So for instance, if I say lass mich, that can mean two different things. Either leave me alone, or it can mean let me have a try. Let me try something. Let me go, or let me do something, right? If I want to be more specific or more precise in being left alone, I could say lass mich in Ruhe. Leave me in peace, basically. If somebody says, lass das, that can mean either stop it or leave it. The verb ablassen can mean a bunch of different things. Most commonly would be used to drain or to purge, maybe. Basically to allow a liquid or some figurative sense of liquid to empty out. The noun version of that, der Ablass, has a religious meaning, and that goes back mostly to the Middle Ages. In English, we call that indulgence. So that was a practice that was very common in the Middle Ages, when you could give a certain amount of money, a donation to your church, to the Catholic Church, basically, and you could buy off the church to have a sin that you did commit, or that you're about to commit, relinquished or to annulled, basically. Anlassen can mean basically two different things. One is to start something up, usually an engine. It can also mean to leave on. So if I wanted to say leave the light on, in German I would say lass das Licht an. If I wanted to say start your engine or start the engine, I could say lass den Motor an. But that can also mean leave the engine on. So a little bit ambiguous. The noun version, der Anlass, that actually means occasion. On this special occasion, zu diesem speziellen Anlass, oder zu diesem Anlass. And then blah, 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 you add something. So it has that meaning of something that prompts something. So certain circumstance that prompts people to do something. Here's another common one, belassen, to leave as is. Durchlassen means to let or to allow someone or something through. Lass mich durch. Let me go through. Excuse me, I need to come through here. Entlassen means to separate someone from employment. So to discharge someone or to lay someone off. Entlassung is the noun version of that. Die Entlassung means the laying off of people, basically. Erlassen, that word always seems a little pompous to me, and I think the best translation into English is really to decree, to make something into law, and to order someone in a very official way to do something. Der Erlass, that would be the noun version. Also in English we have the noun decree, right? So to decree something, erlassen, oder der Erlass, the decree. Rauslassen and reinlassen, let's talk about those together, and I deal with that every single day when my dog wants to go out and then wants to be let in. So if I say, ich lasse den Hund raus, I let the dog out. Ich lasse den Hund rein, I let the dog in. Veranlassen is kind of a fancy way of saying to instigate or to prompt something. Can mean to induce or to cause something to be done. Die Veranlassung is the reason why something is being done, or the impetus of making something happen. It could also mean order. An order as in kind of like a law, a decree almost. So it's related to erlassen. Verlassen. I'm familiar with two main meanings for this word verlassen. One is just straightforward and the other one is reflexive. So let's start with the straightforward one. So if I say, ich verlasse dich, that means I'm leaving you. To leave someone or to abandon you. Or if you say, ich verlasse dieses Haus, I'm leaving this house behind, I'm leaving this house, I'm abandoning it. The reflexive use of the word sich verlassen, sich auf jemanden verlassen, to depend on someone else, to rely on someone else. Ich verlasse mich auf dich means I am relying on you, I'm depending on you. I am putting myself in a situation where I trust you with something. Vorlassen means to just let someone go ahead, to allow someone ahead of you. Lass sie vor, sie hat keine Zeit. Let her go ahead, she doesn't have any time. Weglassen means to leave out. Weg, the prefix, is also used as an adverb. It's related to the English word away. That just means away. So if you let something away, if you let something off, right, let something out, that's basically what that means. So not to include it. So weglassen basically is the opposite of to include. Zulassen basically means to allow in the context of allowing something to happen or allowing someone to do something. So for instance, you may see in a dramatic context, people say, wir können das nicht zulassen. We cannot allow this to happen. But there's also a very official meaning of the word zulassen, can also mean to register, for a governmental agency to give permission to something. So Zulassung can also mean registration. So you have an official government document that says, I have the right to use this vehicle. This vehicle is in good order, decreed by the government, basically. Similar to the adjective gelassen is the word lässig. So gelassen means casual or relaxed. Lässig is a notch above that. In modern German, it's often replaced by the English loan word cool, or in German would say cool. By the way, lassen does not mean to let in the sense of renting. So in English, we have the meaning of to let, to rent something out, right? To either let a car or to let an apartment or a flat if you're British. Long video. I hope you made it all the way to this part. If you did, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and check out my other videos. See if you want to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Enjoy. Take care. Bye.